Arianny Celeste here for MMARated.com. We have an exclusive interview with Roger Huerta, El Matador, one of the superstars of the lightweight division today. And I got to ask him a quick question before we start. Roger, are we dating? Are you in love with me?
No comment.
It's all over the internet, you know. Let's set the record straight here.
Well, truth is, kind of have a crush on Arianny. I've just been in love with you ever since, you started with the UFC but
Aww, that is so sweet.
No, I'm just kidding. No, strictly business. Yeah, nothing personal.
Totally. I agree. Okay, so Roger, you've been kind of like a ghost. We haven't seen you since your fight in December. What are you doing here in Montreal?
I came out to Montreal to train with St. Pierre and just basically learn a lot from him and his camp and his guys. He's got a lot of great coaches and trainers. Been training a lot with Jonathan Chambers. He's a strength and conditioning coach for St. Pierre. And just been learning a lot from him, from the fact of been working on just my explosion power and whatnot, and my fast twitch kind of things, and bringing the athlete out of me and then what I am, but at the same time, just been out here and just training and just getting ready for hopefully a fight soon.
Yeah, we're hearing all these rumors on the internet about your fight coming up possibly in August. What do you think about that, and who could your opponent possibly be? We heard a lot of things about Kenny calling you out, so what do you think about that?
The thing about me fighting sometime in August is possible. At the time, I wasn't planning on fighting in August, but after Kenny had fought, I got a few phone calls that he did call me out and whatnot. I went on UFC.com and I checked it out, and I saw that he basically said that he would want to fight me. In other words, saying that it would be like a blockbuster fight and whatnot, and it kind of brought me back to what, maybe I should come back and fight sometime soon. And what better than to fight in August in Minneapolis, Minnesota, is where it's where I live right now, and it's where I've been living the last 5 years. And yeah, it'd be awesome.
Were you surprised when Kenny Florian, called you out on his last fight? Is there any beef between you guys?
If there is beef, I wouldn't know anything about it because we hung out before, and in this sport everything is it's a small world still, kind of a thing. But even though it's hitting mainstream and it's getting out there, I've hung out with a guy, and we've gone out together, things like that. So it was kind of surprising that he did do that. So it was one of those things, like, you call me out, like, it wasn't like Joe Silva said, "Hey, Roger, would you like to fight Kenny Florian?" It was more like Kenny said, "Hey, let's fight." And I'm like, okay, let's get down, and kind of brought me back up to speed, and kind of gave me the itch back and wanting to fight again. And sure enough, it would help it would help sort things out in the lightweight division of who the number one contender would be, because that fight would basically, it would be a done deal. And after I beat him in August, if he takes the fight, I'll be fighting for the championship.
Kenny called you out on April 2nd. Have you seen him since? Has there been any tension between you guys, or what's the deal with that?
I saw him at the press conference when St. Pierre and Sarah had their thing. But it was like a brief, kind of like nod. No words were said, no words were exchanged. Before, I probably would have like shaken the guy's hand, like, "Hey man, how's it going?" But after him saying that he would like to fight me, I don't, what I mean. It's gonna happen. I have a feeling that it will happen, and it'll be a done deal, and hopefully that the UFC makes it happen. I would like to fight him now.
Okay, so has the UFC approached you about that fight in August?
Actually, I haven't even signed a contract yet that I would fight that same day. So, as of all that I know at this moment is that it's being negotiated. Things are being negotiated.
Since your fight in December, you said you wanted to take some time off. Would you be willing to take that fight in August against Kenny?
Yeah, definitely. I got the itch again. So after my fight with Clay, actually before the fight with Clay, I was already kind of worn down, just with a lot of things, mentally, emotionally. It was my 5th fight of the year, and I was fighting a tough guy, and just, you know, things in life. I lived a really unhuman life last year. Everything was just train every day and eat healthy every day, and you know, make weight when I needed to, and I had to maintain my weight as well. Got to see my family maybe once or twice. I don't even know. I didn't even go home for Thanksgiving, I remember. And so last year was just draining. Everything was just draining. And so with that said, when I after the fight with Clay, I was like, this, you know, I'm done doing PR. I wanted to be 24 years old again. And just kind of, I just wanted to, you know, just be a college kid once again. It was kind of weird. Not weird, just you know, all my friends were all they do is go out and have fun and whatnot, and I'm here busting my butt every day, and everybody kind of thinks that I have an easy road, and it's not, and it hasn't been, you know. And the toughest guys that you fight are the guys that you don't know anything about, and the guys that are hungry to be in the UFC. You know, those are the guys that are the most dangerous because they have nothing to lose and a lot to gain. Mm-hmm. And you know, that's what the people need to understand. And you know, even though you know what, when the fight with Clay was presented to me, I said yes to it because he had just finished beating Marcus Aurelio, who was one of the top ranked guys at the time. I think he was ranked like 3rd in the world, and Clay did what he wanted with the guy. You know, he beat the guy unanimously. And he won by a split decision, which I don't understand these judges on when the guy's fighting. They got to give him a lot of credit. You know, he's an animal, and you know, I kind of just wanted to, you know, show everybody that I was one of the top contenders and that I will be the world champion at one point. You know, when the time is right. And with that said, I needed the time off to relax and chill and spend time with my friends and family, even though I haven't really had that time yet because of other things that things just happen, are thrown in my lap, and I'm like, well, might as well do it. And you know, so with that said, yeah, I'll be ready to fight Kenny in August.
Okay.